Starting today, we will take over every promoted Premier League club, rebuild them to not only the best club in England, but to the best club in Europe. Starting with Leicester City, who have been relegated a couple of seasons ago, but have come back up as the champions of the championship, losing though a couple of players like Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, and even their manager Enzo Maresca, who has joined Chelsea. So today we take over this Leicester City side, with the new transfers as well. As you can see, Bobby De Cordova-Reid is in there. Fatawu is on loan still. I didn't buy him yet. So one transfer, we have 3 transfers per season. That's one of the rules, but one of them in the first season will have to go into Fatawu, who of course has gone permanently to Leicester City in real life. We also have a quite big bench, reserves. Soumaré has come into the club here. He's 24.75, a CDM, just like Victor Christiansen, who has returned from loan from Bologna and is now the starter on that left back spot. I have given him the start over Justine, who is a very good backup though. The thing I'm not sure about is the centre back spots. We have Vestergaard, Fez and Cody, who are the only 3 real centre backs that we can select here. Also Harry Suta, but he's only 71 overall. So yeah, maybe we should do something in that centre-back spot in the first season, alongside bringing in a new right-winger. The newly promoted Leicester will need something like counter-attack to survive in that Premier League season, especially in the first one. So that's what we are opting for here as the tactical vision. Furthermore, I have sent out Billy Harding, a 4-star default scout, to England for 9 months to make us a few English babies. A few players, young prospects, he can find. Of course, Leicester City are in the Premier League alongside the other promoted teams in Ipswich and Southampton for the first season. First season with Leicester City, we have 58 million. I have spent 13 to bring in the coaches as well as the youth star. First player into the club, as announced, is Abdul Fatawu, the right winger, 19 years of age, 75 overall. A lot of room to grow. He comes in for 12 million, measly million, so we have 46 still left in our budget. We've also done quite a lot of business here in the first transfer window, loaning out McAteer to Wolves, Alves to Heerenveen, Cannon to Mallorca, Thomas to Leipzig for a year, Markal to Leeds United, Mash Van Nije, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, to Hull City, Braybrook to Middlesbrough, and then Opoku to Granada, as well as selling Watts to Celtic for 1.95 million. A second player we go in for here in the first season with Leicester City is a new goalkeeper, man who has lost his place at Arsenal, his starting place. We were relatively weak in the goalkeeping department, and that's why we've gone in for Aaron Ramsdale, 30 million plus Iversen, our backup goalkeeper. And the final player to hopefully free us from all relegation doubts is a new centre-back, giving us the necessary strength. I nearly had a brain fart there. It is Nathan, the Brazilian centre-back from Napoli, for 13.6 million plus Ben Nelson, we didn't really need anymore. I have to say, with Ramsdale, who is 25.82, and Nathan, who is still relatively young, same age, same overall than Vestergaard, but 8 years younger, he's 22.75. Alongside Fez, that is a much better back line now. And Fatawu, of course, the right winger we have just recruited permanently. We only have about 2 million left, so we've done a very good job. So let's see what we can do in our first season. Hopefully no relegation fodder. I have sold Yannick Vestergaard to Roma for 5.8 million, as well as the other centre-back, Connor Cody, to Everton for 7. The first season with Leicester, the newly promoted club, we have done pretty well. 50 points, 11th spot. We are nowhere near the relegation battle. Probably closer to European football. That's what you love to see. 12 wins, 40 draws, 12 losses. Liverpool are the runaway champions ahead of Manchester City and Spurs. The FA Cup goes to Spurs over Arsenal, so Spurs break their trophy curse. We have actually been beaten in round 3 by Liverpool. And in the Carabao Cup, it is West Ham defeating Liverpool, with us going to the semi-finals before losing to Liverpool 6-4 on aggregate. Fatawu is the best scorer. It was the best decision to make him a permanent signing. 13 goals, 9 for Mavididi, 7 assists as well, 9 for De Cordova-Reid, 8 for Iheanacho, 7 even for Pratt. And I mean, the team is coming together nicely as well. We have a few 80 rated players like Ndidi, like Pereira, Fatavu very close with 79, Iheanacho. Maybe we should replace the striker for next season as well as the cam in Pret, but most of the other positions are fine. We've played a very good season. First one with Leicester, 11th spot in the Premier League, semi-finals in the Carabao. I mean, if we continue like that, this will be a very successful rebuild. Let's jump into the second season. The second season has started and we go in for a couple of very big players. First off, the Brazilian striker from Barcelona, Vitor Roque, for 40 million into the club. And the second player into the club is Lee Kang-in from PSG, also 40 million, a cam. Sold a couple of players in James Justin, who goes to Stade Reims for 9 million, and De Cordova-Reid, who leaves for Crystal Palace after just one season with us. I've also changed Facundo Buonanotte's position from a right midfielder to a cam, and he goes up by 1 to a 76. That is why we've also sold Dennis Pret, 6.2 million, he's already 30 years of age, 75 overall. Iheanacho also goes to Bournemouth for 13 million. I've even sold Harry Southampton to Club Brugge for 2.7 million. Patson Daka for 11.8 million to Galatasaray. All of that jazz just to bring in one single big defender. From PSG in this save, in real life he plays for Roma. The Italian centre-back Gianluca Mancini joining us for 45 million from PSG. And after a lot of back and forth, this is our final squad. With the additions of Mancini, 28.84. Lee Kang-in 23.82 and Vitor Roque up top 19.79. Backed up by Vardy now 37 in his last season. Will this team be good enough to attack the top 10? That made it into the top 10 in the second season on 51 points, 10th spot. Not really a big progression, but yeah, steady mid-table I would say. No relegation battle by any stretch. Manchester City though, Centurions and unbeaten in the league. 100 points, 0 losses. Crazy. The FA Cup goes to Brentford over Spurs in the final. And we've actually made it to the semi-finals before getting knocked out by Spurs, just about. Carabao Cup goes to Man City over Spurs. And here we've got beaten in round 3 by West Ham. Avididi 9 by Fatavu and 9 by Roque, as well as 8 goals and 5 assists by Lee Kang-in, but the stats aren't looking great, except for them being relatively balanced. However, the same thing cannot be said about the team. A fantastic front line. Lee Kang-in up to an 84. We have Soumare 79 and Ndidi 81. Most of the players actually in their 80s, and that's something great. A big base to build on next season. 2 seasons are down. Still no relegation battle. Hopefully next season we can attack the European places. Let's see in season number 3. To start off season number 3, we go in for a striker, backup striker, to replace Jamie Vardy because this man has just retired. It is Marc Guiu joining us from the free agency list for €0. But the biggest transfer of them all is the second one. Bringing in the German CDM, 30-year-old, 87 rated, Joshua Kimmich, the former Bayern Munich player. In real life, he's of course a Bayern player. 54 million he cost us here from Arsenal. Harry Winks to Brighton for 12.3 million, 29. He's 78 rated, so not a lot of upside to his rating. To finish off the transfer window, we go in for one final player in a swap deal for our current right back, who is already 31. It's the first time I bring this guy in. It's Ruan Foyth coming in for 18 million plus Ricardo Pereira. With the new faces, Ruan Foyth 27.82 on the right back spot, Kimmich in the CDM spot 30.87, as well as Guiu. He's still 19.69 only overall, but he will grow and grow. And yeah, he's a good backup to Roque because Vardy also was about 69-68 when he ended his career. Hermansen up to an 82. This guy really impressed me. He's only 3 lower rated than, of course, Ramsdale, who is 2 years older. But yeah, this team is coming together nicely. The bench is getting better and better. And even the starting 11 is now taking a world-class shape here with Kimmich and what am I seeing? We are in first place. We are the champions of the Premier League. 3 points out of Man City and Arsenal. What a title race. We have repeated the success of 2014-15. What an absolute sensation. 81 goals scored is crazy. Coming is Man City defeating West Ham, while we have been beaten in the round 4 replay by Aston Villa, and in the Carabao Cup in a fantastic penalty shootout. Liverpool win 14-13, 3-3 after 90 minutes against Arsenal, whilst we have been beat by Aston Villa in round 4. Having a first glance at European competitions, of course, next season will be in the Champions League as the Premier League winners. 3-2 Dortmund defeat PSG in the Champions League. The Europa League goes to Atalanta in an all-Italian clash. And the Conference League also goes to Italy, to Lazio over Villarreal from Spain. I mean, we've had 3 seasons with these guys, and Roque has scored 21 goals, gone up to an 85, 21 years of age. What a player. 15 goals for Fatavu, up to an 85 as well. 81 rated Mavididi with 11 goals, 9 goals and 9 assists for Kimmich. That is crazy as well. This team is a Premier League winning team, and I mean, apart from a few positions like Kimmich, Lee Kang-in, maybe Roque, Fatavu, this team, maybe Mancini and Ramsdale, but this team isn't quite yet ready, I would have said, to win the Premier League title. Challenge for top 4, yes, but yeah, winning the Premier League title is an absolute sensation. I'm looking forward to challenging the big boys next season in the Champions League after that fantastic Premier League win. I mean, was it a fluke, or is it the establishment of ourselves as a great football club? Let's see in Season 4. We make 3 signings in Season number 4, the first one being a rotational signing. Left midfielder / left winger by the name of Circencio Somerville, coming from West Ham for 43 million. The second one is a German centre-back, free agent, a regen, 20 years of age only. He comes in from the free agency list. It is Kylian Hahn. Our third and final signing is for yet another big player. This time in the CDM position. I wasn't really happy with NDD. This is a big upgrade on him. Younger as well. His contract was expiring. It is Ismail Benacer joining us from Atletico Madrid for 60 million. So this is our team now. We put Hahn in the starting 11. I'm a bit surprised, but he's a left-footed centre-back, 2081. He's 5 years younger than Nathan. That's why I put him in the starting 11. Then we have, of course, Ismail Benacer, the big signing of the summer, 2887. And on the bench now, 24-year-old Somerville, 81 overall. We've already won the FA Community Shield at the start of the 4th season against Manchester City on penalties. Good start. Which leads us to the Champions League Group A, where we are in a group alongside Juventus, Ajax and Copenhagen. So let's see after this group stage how we will fare. Very difficult group though, I have to say. That's a good Champions League run. We haven't lost a single game, so we must have drawn with Juventus both times, as they haven't lost one either. We come in second place behind Juventus, 4 points. And in the round of 16, we will face Borussia Dortmund, so it could have come worse, I guess, with Barcelona, PSG, or even Real Madrid, but Borussia Dortmund is not easy either. However, halfway point of the Premier League season, and we are only in 5th place behind Crystal Palace. What are they doing in 4th place? So far, we have to fight for that 4th place finish at the end of the 4th season. So after 20 games, 36 points at the Leicester City Stadium for the first leg against Borussia Dortmund. NDD replaces the suspended Ismail Benacer, quick simming the game against Dortmund, and it's a 1-1 draw. Vitor Roque missed the pen. I mean, Darwin scored for them, Vitor Roque for us, and it's a 1-1 draw going back to Dortmund. The second leg at the BVB Stadium in Dortmund with a 1-1 scoreline. Benacer back into the starting 11. Can we get through against Borussia Dortmund? Yes! It's a 3-2 win. Fatavu with a brace, Christiansen with a goal, Malen and Laporte score for Dortmund, but we go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. In the quarterfinals, we will face Atalanta from Italy, first away from home, with our full-strength starting 11. Quick simming that game here in Italy, and it's a 1-1 draw. Mavididi gave us the lead, but El Bilal equalized, and so it's a stalemate going into the second leg at home. Second leg at home at the King Power Stadium, quick simming once again, full-strength starting 11, and we win 3-1. After extra time, Mavididi and Fatavu score. Bilal gave them the equalizer, Fatavu actually with a brace. But we are through, for the first time in Leicester's history, to the semi-finals of the UCL. We've made a fabulous run to the semi-finals, but this is where it could all come crashing down, as both Mancini and Foyth are suspended. That is a big blow for us, but still, we are facing Arsenal. At the King Power, at the Leicester City Stadium, at home, and it's a 3-0 win! Even though we had two big players suspended, we absolutely thumb Arsenal. Vitor Roque with a brace and Fatavu with the last goal, 3-0 against Arsenal. What a win. The second leg is just a formality, going into the game with Mancini and Foyth back in the starting 11, and we win again. Fatavu with the goal. We absolutely own Arsenal. Which means that we will play in a Champions League final against the Kings of Europe, Real Madrid, as if there wasn't an Well, in the league, we have clawed back 4th place. Crystal Palace have fallen off into 9th. We have gone back into the top 4, and even if we lose the Champions League final against Real Madrid, we will still play Champions League football in a potential Season 5. The FA Cup goes to Man United over Leeds, while we have been kicked out by Burnley in round 3. Absolutely brilliant. Carabao Cup goes to Spurs of all teams over City, whilst we have been knocked out by Manchester City in round 3. I mean, the Carabao and the FA Cup this season have been absolutely woeful. In an all-Milano final in the Europa League, Inter wins that over Milan, 3-1. And the Conference League goes to Spain, to Real Betis over the Belgian outfit, Genk. 20 goals for Fatavu, up to an 89 overall. What a player, at 23 years of age, remember lads. 17 goals for 22-year-old, 88 rated Vitor Roque. 12 goals for Mavididi, the OG Leicester player. What a player he is as well. 9 goals for McAteer, who is actually from the bench. Lee Kang-in with 8 goals and 12 assists. Not bad by any stretch either. The question now though is, can we make history in England actually at Old Trafford? Can we win Leicester their first ever Champions League title against the Kings of Europe, Real Madrid? We'll face maybe the best team in world football here with Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham. They have a fantastic team. Here comes Vini already. Vini trying to go through already, but Han is there. Lee Kang-in for Vitor Roque. Roque looking for options. He finds Christiansen. Vitor Christiansen, of course, also an OG Leicester player. Good ball from Christiansen into Benacer, and we are 1-0 up. 11 minutes in, it's Ismail Benacer after that wonder pass by Victor Christiansen. Have you seen that pass with his weaker right foot as well? I mean, unreal pass, and then Benacer with a cold finish past Courtois to make it Leicester 1, Real Madrid 0. Benacer yet again immediately with a big intervention here. We go forward again, it's Mavididi, but loses out to Valverde. Mbappe here, careful. It's Kylian against Benacer. Here is Bellingham. Jude Bellingham with a shot, and good save by Ramsdale. It's Mavididi, still on the ball. Looking for Kimmich. Kimmich trying something outrageous here, but yeah, that goes over the top by a lot. Here comes Mbappe. Mbappe with his trickery. Han very much forward. It's very dangerous. You can't run like that. You can't let the man run in behind. And Köksü, good save, Ramsdale. Into Köksü. Köksü for Mbappe. Mbappe, we cannot let him turn and twist. Han does well. And we get the ball out. Bellingham. Careful, Bellingham. Oh my god, we open up for Mbappe and 36 minutes, it's 1-1. I mean, you cannot let Mbappe, you cannot stand off Mbappe like we did here. Look at this. Bellingham already stood up of Bellingham, but then Mbappe has the easiest drill in the world here to fulfill. It's 1-1. 5. We lose the ball there in a precarious spot because Real Madrid can run in behind again through Vini Jr. I know they have so much pace. And here comes Köksü. It's 2-1 Madrid. That's how fast it goes. It's 2-1 to Madrid. Özgün Köksü. Likangi into Vitor Roque, the former Barcelona player. Can he create here? Maybe, but nearly did. But Courtois with a good save. Now we have a corner kick. It is Abdul Fatawu with a ball inside. It's 2-2. Just at the brink of half-time, Mancini scores the 4th goal of the game, our captain. Gianluca Mancini with a big bullet header after the corner of Abdul Fatawu. Look at this, against 2. He is the winner here, Gianluca Mancini. Into Roque. Roque against Schlotterbeck. Gets the better of him, but Schlotterbeck kills off the shot. Now Lee Kangin looking for Ben Nasser, who already scored one. Maybe another one. Courtois with a good save. Again a corner. We've been dangerous in the first half. Again maybe here. Yes! It is 3-2 to Leicester City. We are back in front. Hahn is the goal scorer. Once again, a centre-back scoring a header. How crazy is that? Another assist here as well by Abdul Fatawu. Look at this cross. And then Hahn jumps the highest. Past Courtois. Corners are still overpowered on this game, and I love it. 3-2. Careful, Valverde trying to go onto our defense immediately, and they, oh my god, could have scored here, but Ramsdale with a good save against Köksü. Crazy game here is now reaching its climax. It's Vini with the ball inside. We defend the corner, trying to go on the counter, but we lose out again. It's Vini, still Vini, and Ramsdale again. Since our goal, we've been under the cosh here against the Madridistas, who never lose Champions League finals. But today, it is maybe the time. Let's see. Still, Real Madrid on the attack. It is Valverde. Valverde against Hahn. Against Christensen as well, but well defended. And then Ramsdale collects. Ruan Foyth with a good ball in behind here for Abdul Fatawu. Can we again go after Madrid here? Good ball, it's Roque! Roque still! But Courtois, oh my god, that nearly went in. Here come Valverde. Valverde, careful. Valverde, and again a save! It's the post! Oh, Mbappe hits the post, and that's why we don't concede an equalizer here, but it was really tight. Now maybe we can go on the counter. Mancini to Fatawu. Fatawu against Gusto. Still Fatawu. Good ball into Kangin. And Fatawu. We bring on Somerville for Mavididi to bring us some fresh legs in offensive departments. As well as going for Nathan, who replaces Han, the goal scorer of the 3rd goal. If of course we score from this corner, then all is sealed, done and dusted. But Fatawu, yeah, that wasn't the greatest of corners. And now we could be in trouble here with Vinicius on the break. Vinicius against Benacer, but Benacer with an incredible intervention. It's nearly over as well. We are in the 89th. Maybe we can seal it here through our superstar Roque. But Courtois does well again. If we play this cleverly, this is it now. But yeah, we have 1 minute in extra time in the additional time to survive. And it's Somerville. That should be it actually. Don't let Madrid go on the counter again. They can't. It's done and dusted. The game is over. Leicester City are on top of Europe for the first time in their history. 3-2 in a packed big final. We were ahead 1-0, then went down 2-1 and won in the end 3-2 to make Leicester the best team in Europe. But lads, if you enjoyed this video, this rebuild with Leicester City, a classical rebuild, then please consider dropping a like on the video. And also tell me in the comments what other challenges you'd like to see next. Of course, next week probably you will see another promoted team trying to go to the top of Europe. In a few moments' time, there will be a lift of the cup here, of the Champions League trophy, by Gianluca Mancini, our captain. I let you enjoy the title celebrations, and I say, it's been Rebuild Sombrero. I'm out! Today we take over the second of 3 promoted clubs to the Premier League. It is Southampton's time to shine. With their new arrivals, Harwood Bellis on a permanent from Manchester City, Hugo Chukwu from Chelsea, Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon, and even Adam Lallana has made the way to Southampton, as well as Alcaraz, who returned from loan, and then Ben Brereton Diaz, who already caused controversy on the first Premier League match day in real life. Others like Sekou Mara have already left the club. But yeah, we need a lot of work if we want to survive with that, especially young midfield here. 18-year-old Hugo Chukwu, 19-year-old Fernandes, or the other way round actually. But Alcaraz is 20. We have a lot of young talent in this squad. Walker Peters is the captain. He's a quite talented, quite experienced right back. Of course, Lallana in the long run needs to get replaced. Maybe we can go already ahead and do that this season. Let's just wait and see. I have decided to employ the wing play strategy because we have Brereton Diaz, Kamaladin, good wingers here, a good front line, so that's what we are opting for. I've also employed Dylan Collins, a 5-star scout here, who can bring us some talents to Southampton. And in the first season itself, we have about 52 million in our budget to bring in 3 new players. And just like that, we have sold Robert Perrault to Crystal Palace for 5.1 million, Adam Armstrong for 5.2 to Union Berlin, and Kale Takar for 6 million to Fiorentina. So we've recreated Perrault and Kale Takar's departures in real life as well. And just like that, we are up to 73 million in our budget. That's a good budget. At a very low cost, we bring in the first player of this Southampton rebuild, a CDM from Liverpool, 19 years of age, by the name of Stefan Bajcetic, joining us for 5 measly million. At yet another low cost, we bring in a left back from Argentina, from Brighton. At Brighton he's playing. It is going to be Valentin Barco joining us here at Southampton for 4 million, so we've only spent 9 million on 2 very talented players. With the arrival of Bajcetic, 1872, I've also changed the formation to 2 holding midfielders because otherwise we will get grilled in the Premier League. Barco takes the left back spot, even though Sugawara is higher rated, but Barco has a lot of potential. He's 1872. I have just brought in a third and final player, and this time it's an absolute superstar. He's already 31, but he makes a return to the Premier League. He makes a return to where it all began for him, at Southampton. I am, of course, talking about the Senegalese player, Sadio Mane, a winger, where we absolutely needed improvement. 55 million from Al Nassr he cost us. He's back home. I, of course, give Sadio Mane the starting left wing spot here. Suleimana goes to the right. I've also put Fernandes in midfield ahead of Lallana because, really, Fernandes is about 16 years younger and only 4 overall lower. And he's showing great potential, so he could overtake Lallana even in overall in the first season. But with this team, Season 1 with Southampton is done and dusted, and we've just about stayed up here. To be fair, 10 points ahead of Ipswich Town, but only in 16th spots. 68 goals conceded, nearly the second most actually in the league, just behind Ipswich. 10 wins though have kept us up, 12 draws as well, helped us on our way. The FA Cup goes to Arsenal over West Bromwich of all teams, while we have been knocked out in round 5, which is the round of 16 if I'm not mistaken, by West Ham. Carabao goes to Arsenal over Chelsea in the London derby in the final, while we have been knocked out in very early doors by Man United in round 3. Sadio Mane is just the reason why we stayed up. 18 goals for him, down to an 84, but 8 assists even. So the best scorer and the best assister. Suleimana with 8 goals, 8 for Alcaraz, 6 for Smallbone. But those stats are not enough. The one who saved us is Sadio Mane. Our team surrounded by superstar Sadio Mane. Alcaraz is up to 76, Fernandes 74. Ugo Chukwu has disappointed me a little bit. 72 rated. 77 Harwood Belly, 76 Bella Kotchap. Barco up by 2 to a 74. Walker Peters up by 1. Right before the season ends, we make a couple of positional changes. Sadio Mane to a left winger, and he goes back up to an 85 here. Ben Brereton Diaz from a left midfielder to a left winger, and he also goes up by 1 to a 76. Ugo Chukwu to a CDM from a central midfielder, 76, he goes up by 4. And finally, Mateusz Fernandes to a cam from a centre midfielder, and he goes up by 3 as well. I mean, that growth is incredible. We have survived the first season. That's the first and most important step in this rebuild. The Cups aren't really important in the first season. Round 5 in the FA Cup, round 3 in the Carabao. The most important thing is how we grow as a team, and the second season is going to be a vital one. At the start of the second season, Adam Lallana will join Leeds United. Manning will join Brentford, the left back. Otherwise, I don't really know what to improve on. Maybe a better striker, but then again, Alcaraz has the potential. Suleimana is a good right winger. He's only 22 as well. The team is very, very young. And I'm surely not gonna let the 62 million we've got go to waste. To start off the second season in terms of transfers, we go in for an absolute superstar. A goalkeeper who will change the game for us. He's 27, 86 overall, and his contract was expiring. I am talking about the European Championship winner with Spain, Unai Simon, who joins us for 41 million from Athletic Club. An absolute bargain. We've also put in quite the effort to make a clear out here. Smallbone goes to Bournemouth for 6.2 million. Lawrence to Barry for 1.25. As well as Cameron Archer for 6.7 million. Going to Nottingham Forest. And backup goalkeeper Joe Lumley, who goes to Rangers for 1.3, was already in 29, only 70 rated. Which means that after the arrival of Unai Simon and the sales, we are back up to 36 million. Our second signing of this window is a clever little 30-year-old, 82 rated CDM, giving us the necessary experience because we have a very young squad. The captain of Borussia Dortmund, Emre Can, here coming from Spurs for 26 million, joining us at Southampton. And at last, a clever little signing, striker, backup striker from South America. His contract was expiring, and that's when we snapped him up from Barcelona in South America for 1.8 million, Alain Obando. And certainly with the signing of Simon 2786, Emre Can 3082, and Alain Obando for squad depth purposes, we have strengthened that team here massively, especially in goal and in midfield. Bazunu is now making the bench much better, just like Bacetic. We are on the right track, that's what I can tell you, lads. I have just found a few absolute beasts in our youth academy. Harrison Warren, the first one, a goalkeeper, 16 years of age, 60 overall, 83 to 94 potential. The second one, the biggest of them all, Albi Dalton, 17-year-old, 70 overall, one of the highest rated youth academy players I've ever seen, 92 to 94 potential. And then Gabriel Armstrong, who is still too young to get promoted, he's a striker. But the other two are immediately going to... It seems as though we've done a very good job rebuilding Southampton, because in the second season itself, we are in the top 6. 6th position, only 2 points of Crystal Palace, very surprisingly in 5th. 4th place Newcastle, 9 points ahead of us. But yeah, we've done a fabulous job here in the Premier League. The FA Cup goes to Liverpool over Leeds, while we have been shamelessly knocked out by Leicester in round 3, 3-0 at home. Oh my. The Carabao Cup goes to Middlesbrough of all teams over Chelsea, while even here we've been knocked out in round 2 by Wolves, so very bad in the Cups, very good in the league. I take that. We are looking at 18 goals from Alcaraz, up to an 80 overall. Good that I didn't replace him, I'm right away. Suleimana with 12 goals, Brereton Diaz with 7, but where is Mane? He's Scored 9 assists, so the best assister, but only 3 goals is a bit disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. However, our team is coming together absolutely fantastically. Quite close to everyone being in their 80s. Only, I think, a couple of players, 4 players maybe, under the overall of 80, with Barco 79, Bella Kachap 79, Ugo Chukwu 78, and Suleimana also 78, but all of them still relatively young. 6th spot in the Premier League is fantastic. It maybe allows us to go to the Conference League next season. I actually do believe that. But yeah, I wouldn't have expected that at all at the beginning of this rebuild to be in Europe in the 3rd season. To start off season 3 with Southampton, we go in for another player who used to play for us. It is the Dutch centre-back, Virgil van Dijk, joining us for 30 million. He's 34 now, but his contract was expiring and so he pounced. Second, I have decided to go in for a new central midfielder to strengthen that midfield. It is the German Arne Engels joining us from Inter for 19.5 million. We've also sold Jan Bentnarek as we have now got Virgil van Dijk into the squad. He goes off for 5.5 million to Leeds United. Just like selling both Kyle Walker-Peters to Chelsea for 13.5 and Paule Bere Onwachu for 4.15 million to Al Hilal. And finally, we've also sold Ben Brereton Diaz to Leicester City for 17 million. Final player we bring into the club is a new right winger, a starter at that spot. I've never bought him before. His contract was expiring. It is Brian Mbeumo coming in from Brentford for 28 million. So this is how the team is looking like to go into that 3rd season with Southampton. Fernandez still at the camp spot. We have Engels now as his backup. He's 76 rated at 21 years of age. Mbeumo is of course now the starter, 26, 82 overall. He completes that front 3 in the 80s, and apart from Ugo Chukwu and Barco, everyone is now an 80 plus rated player. With of course Van Dijk immediately the captain, 34 years of age, 88 overall. And guys, we'll even be in the Europa League alongside PSV, Shakhtar Donetsk and Helsinki from Finland. Season number 3 ends in a bit of a disappointment, I'm not gonna lie. We have fallen off from 5th to 8th. 8th spot, 59 points, 10 points below Liverpool in 4th. The problem is we've only lost 9 games, but we've drawn 14, this is way too much. Manchester City win also the FA Cup over Spurs, whilst we have been knocked out in round 3 by Peterborough. What a joke. Carabao goes to Arsenal over Newcastle, and even here we've been knocked out in round 3 by a lower league club in Birmingham City. We've been absolutely horrific there. In the Europa League, we topped our group in flying colours. 6 wins out of 6, 18 points, 10 ahead of Shakhtar Donetsk. But we faced PSG and got knocked out in round of 16. I mean, how unlucky can you be? Of all teams to face PSG in the round of 16. Arsenal in the end have beaten PSG in the final on penalties to win the Europa League. The Champions League goes to Juventus over Barca, whilst the Conference League goes to Marseille over Mallorca in the final. Brian Mbeumo was the right man to buy. 16 goals for him in his debut season for Southampton. 13 for Mane still, even though he's 34 now and down to an 83. Suleimana with 11 goals, his backup. And then Alcaraz with only 8 goals. That's disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. That's really disappointing by our star striker. What I can tell you is the growth on certain players is absolutely bonkers. Bacetic up to an 83 at, of course, 21 years of age. Van Dijk has gone down to an 87, but Harwood Belly is up to an 82. Sugawara even up by 1. Barco up to an 83. Simon 88 rated. Mane still at an 83. Alcaraz up to an 84. But yeah, an overall kind of disappointing season. I mean, don't get me wrong, we weren't horrific or anything in the Premier League. And to be in 8th spot in the 3rd season after promotion is good. But after that 5th spot last season, I would have hoped for even more, maybe just a confirmation. To start off season number 4, we have our biggest budget yet, 88 million. And that's because we have cleared out the club. James Bree goes to Norwich for 2 million, 3.9 for Edozier, who was a good servant to the club, but he's now just been outgrown by everybody else. Charles goes to Leeds United for 6.6 million, same thing applies to him. And that's why I've decided to go in for an absolute superstar at centre-back, 28 years of age, 87 overall, from Manchester United. His contract was expiring. I am talking about the left-footed centre-back Lisandro Martinez, who comes in for 36.8 million, plus Arnel Bella Kotchap, who wasn't really of any need anymore. Just like the second new phase we go in, we nearly splashed all our cash on those two new star arrivals. This guy here is 32 already, a lot of experience, he's 86 overall, and again the contract was expiring. I am talking about the Portuguese right back João Cancelo, 38 million, he can give us at least 2 seasons, to 3, on the highest level. I mean, with both arrivals, Lisandro Martinez, 28.87, and João Cancelo, 32.86, this team is looking a lot better, especially defensively. No player in the whole starting 11 under the overall of 80. We have Suleimana, Dalton and Amoame Yafu returned from loan on our wings. So a lot of depth there, to replace the Mane or Mbeumo. Alcaraz and Umbando are still our 2 strikers. And with Martinez and Van Dijk and Simon in net, we are really strong now in defense. I've also found a couple of very interesting youth academy players. Franklin, Holland and Houghton are all going to get promoted, a right back, a CDM and a right winger. Holland being the best one. Season 4 is finished and we are finished as well, because we've finished even lower this time. Even lower than last time. 9th spot, 55 points. 13 wins again, 16 draws. Just nearly half the game we've played we've drawn. That is just too much. Man City do the 3rd Premier League title in a row here, I think. However, we win our first cup. We also qualify for Europe through this 3-0 over Norwich in the FA Cup. That is brilliant. No Carabao Cup, though, as Villa defeat Leicester there. We have been beaten by Burnley. Standard business here in round 3 of the Carabao Cup. Champions League goes to Man City over Barcelona. Europa League to Fiorentina over Chelsea. And the Conference League to Inter over Man United. 17 goals for Mane, that is the top man here. 14 for Mbeumo, again very good. 12 for Chan from CDM is crazy as well. But my question is, where is Alcaraz? I mean, how is it possible that he only scores 6 goals and 1 assist? That is just not good enough. Obando with 4. Our strikers don't score enough. Cancelo with 10 assists. Great transfer. But yeah, a lot of disappointment here from our strikers. Our team looks brilliant, absolutely great. It has to qualify for Champions League football in a couple of seasons, or this next season as well, because, I mean, Mane is one of the lowest rated players now. That speaks for itself. Van Dijk up down to an 85. All the others, Martinez 88, Simon 88, Barco 84, Cancelo still 86, Alcaraz up to an 86, but he's only scored 6 goals. I'm a little bit done with this team because I expected Champions League football this season. We only finished in 9th, so we need to make changes. We do have 89 million in our budget, and we absolutely need it to clear out the club here and to bring in 3 new players. To start off with, we make an absolute game-changing signing. A man whose contract was expiring from Real Madrid, a centre-back, replacing Van Dijk. I am talking about Eder Militao, who joins us here for 70 million. What a signing. A second signing to slowly but surely replace Sadio Mane on that left wing is a South Korean regen, probably the Young-min Son one. He was already approached by Spurs, that's why we went in for him very quickly. This Il Sung Lim joining Southampton on a free, he's a free agent. We now have an absolute up-and-coming superstar in Lim here. He's actually left-footer, so he might be better off the right, but maybe also try something new, a left-footer on the left. We may need to sell Suleimana because Dalton is the same overall already and we have too many wingers. Maybe that could give us some money. And then of course finally the centre-back whose contract was expiring from Madrid, Eder Militao, 29.89 overall. We have sold both Harrison Warren to West Ham, our youth academy goalkeeper who wasn't really developing as nicely as I would have liked him to, as well as Suleimana for 28.3 million to Bournemouth to get us some funds. I wasn't lying when I said we'd make a big clear out. Virgil van Dijk goes to Man City of all clubs for 27.3 million. And Emre Can goes to Arsenal for 33 million, so 2 of our starters gone. which means that we can splash the cash on one single player, 100 million in our bank. We bring over the biggest player we've signed so far, a French CDM, once again what I love, contract expiring. He's only 27 years of age, he's 89 overall. We've had to work a lot for that transfer to happen, but finally it has. Aurélien Tchouaméni goes to the Premier League, to Southampton for 80.5 million here in season number 5. I mean, this team is looking brilliant now. Tchouaméni 27.89, Militao is there 29.89, as I already showed you. And then of course, where is he? Our last signing, Lim, the 22-year-old 82 rated left winger. Before I forget, I want to show you that we've won a second trophy in the Community Shield. 1-0 over Manchester City, the English champions. That's a good season starter. As the FA Cup winners will once again, of course, be in the Europa League alongside Ajax, Sparta Prague and Apoel, a group that we are done with season 5, and I can tell you that we are the Premier League champions. 11 points as well ahead of Spurs. That's what you love to see. Finally, those signings come in clutch. Still 10 draws, but only 3 losses by a mile the least amount. The FA Cup goes to City over Middlesbrough of all teams, and we got knocked out by City in the semi-finals. Carabao Cup still haven't won that. West Ham win it this time over United. We have been knocked out very early doors once again by Chelsea in round 3. We've also been in the Europa League, where we topped our group in flying colours ahead of Sparta Prague. Round of 16 we defeated Sporting just about 4-3. Quarter-finals, where are we? 4-3 against Wolfsburg, very well done. Semi-finals, we even beat PSV to face Milan in the final. Can we win the Europa League? Yes, on penalties, 3-1, just about. Wow, what a game. The Champions League surprisingly goes to Leverkusen over PSG. We will of course be part of this competition next year. And finally, the Conference League goes to LOSC Lille from France against Hoffenheim from Germany. Mbeumo has really surprised me in a very positive way. 22 goals for him, 86 overall. Alcaraz, finally man, finally he comes in clutch, 18 goals. Was about time as well. Mane still going strong at 36, 82 overall, 14 goals. Obando with 12 even. With a few improvements here and there, we can really challenge next season for that Champions League crown. I mean, Lim, I've put him here ahead of Mane now. But all the other positions are fine, very fine. Cancelo is getting old as well, he's 85 overall. Maybe a better player than him. But otherwise, Fernandes, I don't know, I'm not sure. He's still relatively young, 23. Season 5 is done and dusted. We will be in the Champions League in Season 6. We have a chance to complete this rebuild. We've also won the Europa League. To start off Season 6, we sign a massive player at the cam spot. The man who tear it up at the Euros. Here he comes from Real Madrid in real life. He just transferred to Barcelona. It is Dani Olmo for 74 million. After signing Dani Olmo from Real Madrid, we have sold both Amouameyav to Brentford for 10 million and Arne Engels, the backup cam, who is now a third string only with the arrival of Olmo, to Man United for nearly 50 million. Which means that we still have about 118 million even though we have already signed Dani Olmo. That's when we swoop in for a new right back. Cancelo is now 34, so he's only going down from here. And I have signed a 27-year-old from Napoli. He's 85 rated. It is Sacha Boey coming in for not 39 million, plus Joao Cancelo, who goes to Napoli the other way. And last but not least, a new left midfielder replacing Sadio Mane, who has given us 5 fantastic years. But now it is time to move him on. He's 35. And we go in for a 10-year younger left midfielder, 87 overall. In a swap deal with Sadio Mane from Chelsea, it is Yeremi Pino joining us for 63 million plus Mane. With the arrival of Pino, 25.87, and the Lim going to the bench, 23.85, he can give competition to both Pino and Mbeumo. Olmo goes into the starting 11, 30.86. With, of course, Bowie now going to the right back spot in the starting 11, 27.85. I opted to keep Sugawara, who is 28 only, as opposed to, of course, Cancelo, who was same overall, but 34.35 already. At the start of Season 6, we have won the Community Shield back-to-back, 1-0 over Manchester City. And even the UEFA Super Cup over Leverkusen, the Champions League winners, we have beaten them, so we are ready for Season 6. This is what it all will come down to, the UEFA Champions League, where we'll be in group. H, the last group, with Inter, Benfica and Panathinaikos. Not an easy group by any stretch, but we are strong enough to get out. Point of season number 6, and we are in second place. 6 points behind Manchester City, who have had nearly a perfect season. 1 loss only for them, 3 for us. Fulham, very surprisingly, in third place. And in the Champions League, very, very tight, but we topped our group ahead of Inter Milan and Benfica, so we should get a little bit of an easier draw in the round of 16. Yeah, that is easy. Real Madrid will play Southampton. I mean, absolutely brilliant, absolutely bonkers. Wow. Starting off with the hardest draw there is in world football, away at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu with our full strength starting 11. Can we get something out of Madrid here? Let's just wait and see. Yes, we actually win that game 2-1. We turned the game around within 3 minutes. Jeremy, Pino and Alcaraz score our goals. Speedy gave them the lead. But we are up for the second leg at home. The big question is, can we pull through at St. Mary's Stadium at home? Once again with the strongest starting 11. We are up 2-1. And it's a 0-0 draw, which is enough to go to the quarterfinals and defeat Real Madrid on aggregate. Quarterfinals, we will face Barcelona, first away from home at the Camp Nou, or El Libertador as it is called here. Full strength starting 11, Pino up to an 88, we have Mbuemo at an 87, Alcaraz up to a 90 overall. And both our centre-backs, Martinez and Militao as well, 91, and Simon 90. So we quick sim our game with a lot of hope here. And it's a 1-1 draw. Ferran rescues Barcelona's hopes in the 85th. Tchouaméni gave us the lead in the 11th minute. Second leg at St. Mary's. 1-1 is the result from the first leg. Can we pull through to the semi-finals? Yes! It's a 2-1 win. The both ex-Real Madrid players, Militao and Tchouaméni, score. Pedri gives Barca 1 back, but that's not enough, as we see ourselves through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And in the semi-finals, we will travel to Dortmund for the first leg. Borussia Dortmund is our opponent. Full strength first 11, Militao a bit tired. Let's see how this goes. It's a 3-2 loss. It's a 3-2 loss in the first leg. Mbuemo missed the pen. He scored a goal, Jeremy as well. But Dortmund scored 3 past us. Balogun with a brace and Miguel Gutierrez. The second leg of the Champions League semi-final is on the way. Can we turn the tie around here at home at the St. Mary's to go to a Champions League final? Let's find out. Quick simming, and we do it. We have done it. 3-1 win against Borussia Dortmund. We were 3-0 up. Olmo, Alcaraz and Mbuemo scored. Pinoe gave them 1 back, but that's not enough as we are through to a maiden Champions League final for Southampton. An unlikely Champions League final between Southampton and Sevilla will take place on the 2nd of June. I'm looking forward to it, absolutely. I'm very excited here to face Sevilla. Atalanta win the Europa League, the second best European competition, over Wolfsburg 1-0, while even OGC Nice takes glory in an all-French encounter actually against Rams 3-2 in the conference. In the end, we lose out on about 5 points to Manchester City and don't make it back-to-back Premier League titles, but second place, even if we were to lose that final against Sevilla, we could still play Champions League football in Season 7, in a potential Season 7. However, we do make our 3rd title in this season alone after winning the 2 Super Cups, defeating Brighton here in the FA Cup this time. Man United win the Carabao Cup over Liverpool, and we have been knocked out by the same Liverpool in the quarterfinals. Once again, Brian Mbuemo is the best player in this squad, the best goal scorer and the best assister. 20 goals, 9 assists. Incredible. Wasn't expecting that when I picked him up to an 88 at 29 years of age. Alcaraz with 15 goals. He's really stepped his game up as well. 15 for Pino as well. His first season. Fantastic. 13 even for backup striker Robando. 9 goals, 8 assists for Olmo. Great as well. And if you look at the entirety of this squad, we do belong here where we are, because look at the front line. Pino 88, Alcaraz 90, Mbuemo 88, 87 rated Olmo, 91 rated Tchouaméni, with an 86 rated Bacet, which has really developed nicely, and fully 91 rated centre-back partnership with 87 and 86 rated fullbacks, and to top it all off, a 90 rated goalkeeper, the 4th, holding down the 4th. Here we are then, Southampton against Sevilla in the Champions League final. Nice piece of play, very early doors. Bacetic into Olmo. First chance, first goal! We are 1-0 up. Dani Olmo outside of the boot. Fantastic strike. And already 1-0 to Southampton in the Champions League final. And look at this. First the pass from Olmo into Bacetic's path. Then Bacetic with the pass back to Olmo. And he blasts the shit out of this. Very, very precise though. From the edge of the box into the top corner. Look at this curve on the ball. Great. No chance for Carnesecchi in Sevilla's goal. Nice intervention here again, Olmo. It's the Olmo show here early doors. He can go maybe for another goal. He looks for it, and Carnesecchi this time with a good save. Everything going through Olmo in these first minutes. Even here, the corner, inside. It's deflected out, but Bacetic comes again and shoots. But a good save again by Carnesecchi. We are all over them in the first quarter of an hour. Olmo again with a corner. It's a good one. It's a good header and it's another save. Carnesecchi keeping them in the game. Now from the other side, Dani Olmo again with a corner. It's another good one and it's once again cleared, but still Jeremy Pino. We have been completely tearing them apart with our corners here. We make yet another one and it is Bacetic once again with a lot of space, but this time they seem to be able to get it out, or maybe not. It is Tchouaméni, 2-0! Tchouaméni with a goal! We are absolutely over them. Sevilla don't know what to do here in the first minutes, 20 minutes of this game. I mean, look at this. What are they doing defensively here? We get the ball back. I think it was Bacetic with the intervention, or even Alcaraz. It was Alcaraz actually. And Tchouaméni just passes it by Carnesecchi, who can't do anything this time. I've rarely dominated a game that much in a Champions League final. I mean, we absolutely deserved that 2-0 lead and Sevilla are shattered. They don't know what to do. Still, we have to be careful because they could come back, and here they have the ball in our penalty box. It is a chance, and Simon with a save as well once. Sevilla have already made a change. Januzaj is out and Sigankov is in. I didn't even know Januzaj was still playing football, but oh well. Sevilla trying to get one back here in this instance. It is Gordon, Anthony Gordon even playing for them, but we do a fantastic intervention. One last chance maybe of the first half. Let's not concede now. That wouldn't be great, and Militao doesn't let that happen. Still though, Sevilla on the ball. They are in our penalty box in a shooting position and they score. It's 6 minutes over. Come on, ref. That is a joke. They score in the 6th minute of added time where there were 2 minutes added on. After that disgraceful late goal, we have to be more on the front foot again here than in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Already a free kick now to Sevilla. It's Anthony Gordon to take. And we get it out. And maybe now we can go on the counter. It's Brian Mbeumo. He's faster than Marcao here. Mbeumo looking for options to cross the ball. It's 3-1. It is 3-1. And I don't know who scored. I think it's Licha Martinez, the captain. Yes, absolutely. What is he doing in this position? The small centre back. Mbeumo with the sprint of a lifetime. And then the cross into Martinez, who just has to head it home here. It's 3-1. We are back to a 2-goal cushion. They can play some nice football, but this time we do well again here. And it is Alcaraz maybe on the counter once more. It is Alcaraz who hasn't scored yet today. Maybe now, Alcaraz! He hits it just wide. We make all our substitutions here in the last 10 minutes. Obando comes in for Alcaraz. Lim comes in for Pino. We have Harwood Bellis who comes in for Militao. And then Sugavara for Bowie. As well as Ugo Chukwu here for, of course, Bacetic. Somehow this didn't record, so I'm going to show you once again what happened here. We conceded a pen in the 88th minute. It is Sugavara just came on, and then that was... softer than an ant's fart, that pen. But yeah, I'm going to show you how it played out. Because, of course, it was Pavlidis against Simon, and Pavlidis converted the pen, so it's only 3-2 now. Here comes Lim. Lim with his first action of the game. He hasn't got any support, but he does need it. It's Lim! Nearly scores. And that should be the final action of the game. Mbuemo bringing a corner inside. Can we crown it off here? No, but it doesn't matter. Karnesecki saves again, and we win the Champions League final 3-2 to make Southampton not only the best club in England, which we were last season, winning the Premier League, but even the best club in Europe in a grinding rebuild. I have to say, 6 seasons it took us, and in the end we completely dominated Sevilla. The scoreline doesn't reflect what happened in the game. We could have won 5-1, 4-1, 5-2, I don't know. But in the end it doesn't matter, as what is on paper, what stands on paper is that Southampton have won the UEFA Champions League in Season 6. But lads, if you enjoyed this rebuild with Southampton and that grind that I had to endure, then please consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. For now, I'm gonna leave you alone with the celebrations as our captain, Licia Martinez, who we picked up in Season 4 of 5. We lift the Champions League for Southampton. The Saints are the best club in Europe. Today we are taking over the final promoted club, Ipswich Town. The Tractor Boys have been promoted against all expectations. And so this season the task will be to somehow stay in the Premier League, even though in real life that is going to be a big, massive task, maybe too much. As we usually do in those rebuilds, we have a look at the squad. There are the new transfers in town, like Johnson, who is the right back now, 23.74 from West Ham. Hutchinson has made the move permanently from Chelsea, a quite talented boy. Smodic from, I think, West Brom has also come into the club. As well as Liam Delap on a permanent basis from Manchester City. And of course, Calvin Phillips from the same Citizens has come over. He might be the biggest transfer they have made. To somehow give ourselves a chance in the Premier League in this first season, I am going to go with the park the bus formation, tactical vision for Ipswich Town. Also giving us a fighting chance by hiring a coach in every position and exploring the options on that coaching market also in the future. Giving us a fighting chance not only in, of course, this season, but also for the future, by hiring Andrus Pern, a 5-star scout from Estonia, who will go to England to create a few babies. After hiring these coaches, we are down to about 25 million in our budget. So 25 million for the first season is not a lot for Ipswich Town, for a promoted club. Where I'm certainly contemplating about bringing new players in is either the striking position, even though Delap is a very bright talent, so I'm not sure yet. Morsi is now 31, he's the captain. We have Cajust, who also came in from Napoli. He's 1 overall lower, so he's for now on the bench, but he will take over as he's much younger. Otherwise, maybe a new left midfielder, because Broadhead isn't really filling me with a lot of confidence. Hutchinson will grow a lot as well, but even there we have Burns, who I'm not sure about. Maybe sell him. There we have it. We have managed to sell Wes Burns to Stuttgart for 2.2 million. As well as Freddy Ladap, who goes to Young Boys for just over $1 million. Walton, who goes to Strasbourg for 1.6 million. And then a loan for El Hamadi to Ghent for 1 year. As well as selling Edmundson. We did that at the beginning already. Alongside Harness to Coventry, respectively Norwich. Selling Burns means we're up to 28 million in our budget to go in for our 3 players. The first signing we make is a free agent. I think in real life he has gone to a league that is a little bit obscure. But for now, he is coming to Ipswich Town in this save. I couldn't turn down that opportunity. It is the former Arsenal striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang joining us from the free agency list for €0. A big first start here. Big start for Ipswich Town on the market. At further low cost, we bring in yet another player. He's already 36, so no man for the future. But he's 82 overall. About the same rating than Aubameyang, but this time it's a goalkeeper. And a very good one at that. Former Real Madrid goalkeeper Keylor Navas joining us for a measly 800k from PSG. Our biggest signing yet in terms of transfer fee will be for a new left midfielder for the future. He comes in from France, from Lille. Håkon Arnar Haraldsson joining us at Ipswich for 8.2 million. I already show you one thing. Omari Hutchinson has changed his position from a right midfielder to a right winger. And he stays at a 69. I would have hoped that he goes up, but 7 weeks it will take. And so this is our final squad for this first season, with of course Ipswich Town in the Premier League. Aubameyang up top, 34, he's already 81 overall. Haraldsson on the left, 20, 73. And then finally, where is he? Of course, our goalkeeper Keylor Navas, 36, 82 overall. Can we stay in the Premier League? I have absolutely no idea. Let's see what comes out of this first season. The first season is done and dusted, and we just about survive. 16th spot, only 2 points above Brighton, who are shockingly relegated, alongside Bournemouth and Fulham. But we stay up on 34 points, third least wins in the division. We've only 7, but we've drawn 13 games, which has confirmed our spot in the Premier League for next season. On the other hand of the table, it is Manchester City being the one-way champions with only 2 losses, Newcastle in 2nd and Arsenal in 3rd. And even the FA Cup is dominated by Manchester City, who win that over Arsenal. We actually knocked out West Ham in round 4 replay, before in round 5 though getting knocked out by West Bromwich. That wasn't great, but at least we made it into the round of 16 here. Newcastle also win a title, the Carabao Cup over Liverpool, 2-1. Whilst we've gotten knocked out on the bottom right here by Burton Albion, which is a disgrace in the Carabao Cup, I'm not gonna lie. Without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Šmodić, we would have been relegated. Aubameyang with 11 goals, great signing. 10 for Šmodić, the man Ipswich Town signed in real life. He seems to be a good guy here, an Irishman. Hutchinson has scored 5 goals, but look at the drop-off here from Šmodić and Aubameyang to Hutchinson and Delap. Looking at the ratings here, Haraldsson up to a 76, he's now a left winger as well. Hutchinson up to a 73, Aubameyang down to a 78, Šmodić up to a 75. We have Phillips at a 78, Reeves even up to a 75 alongside Tuanzebe, Johnson 76. The backline is looking good, Navas in goal has gone down to a 79, but still a very good backline. Maybe Morsey could get replaced now, but I don't know by whom. Where is maybe Kajust, who is 2 overall higher and about 8 years younger, so he will replace Captain Morsey. 16th in the Premier League. We've just about survived by the skin of our teeth. Things have to change for Season 2, but I'm grateful that we are still here at Ipswich Town in the Premier League. To start off the second season, I'm gonna show you 5 players who I've promoted and loaned out to different clubs. Hutton, Davies, Bryan, Turner, and Evans all come up from the youth academy. Let's see how they develop in the upcoming seasons. On the other hand, we'll have both Keylor Navas and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, both retiring at the end of the season. So, yeah, 2 seasons with them. Hopefully they can help us stay up this season as well. I've also made a whole host of changes in the squad. Broadhead goes to Bologna, 3.6 million. Taylor to Southampton for 2.6. Burgess, the rotational centre-back, to Norwich for 2.2. And then Townsend for 1.5 to Monza. To start off the second season, we go in for an absolute game changer for us. He's 21, 79, a former wonder kid. From Barcelona he comes in for 30.5 million it is. Ansu Fati, joining Ipswich Town, a big signing, the biggest so far. Well, after signing Fati, we are down to 24 million in our budget, and we still have 2 transfers that we can make. Our second and probably final signing of this second season is for centre-back who just recently joined Como in Italy, the newly promoted Italians. His contract was expiring. It is Rafael Varane joining us here in the second season for 21 million from Como, and that nearly wipes out all of our budget. Centre-back Varane is 83 rated, 31 years of age. He will give us a good couple of years here. A steady centre-back still. Nearly world class, even at 31. Fati 21.79. Aubameyang and Navas are going to retire at the end of the season. They are both 37 and Aubameyang is 35. So yeah, let's see a little bit of an improvement this season, of course, with Fati and Varane. Which makes Hutchinson on our bench, of course. Put him on the bench. Just like Delap, who might just take over for Aubameyang through the course of this season, just like Muric, who could overtake from Navas very soon. Second season with Ipswich is done, and we finish in a comfortable 13th spot. I take that, absolutely guys. 12 wins, 10 draws, 16 losses, 46 points. We are well and far away from Southampton, who are on 26 points, so we are 20 points above them. Champions are Arsenal, 3 points out of Newcastle, who have done a good rebuild themselves here. The FA Cup goes to Man United over Coventry of all teams. How have they got there? Whilst we got knocked out by Leicester in round 4, very early doors. The Carabao goes to Man City over Everton, and here we've been knocked out in round 2 by West Ham. Ansu Fati is our best scorer this season. He was the big transfer, and he scored 10 goals, 2 assists, up to an 83 at 22 years of age. We've really revived his career. Aubameyang with 10 goals as well. I mean, he's got down to a 75, still scored 10 goals. Great return. Haraldsson with 9, Delap with 7. He will take over from Aubameyang. He could already do it. He's already 3 higher rated. And Aubameyang will, of course, retire at the end of the season. The team is coming together nicely. We have Varane, of course, who is still only 32, 83 overall. He kept his overall. Greaves at a 78, 24 years of age. 25-year-old Davies, still a good backline. 25-year-old Johnson. None of them under the overall of 77. We have Muric at a 79, still only 26. But we'll need a new goalkeeper as Navas will, of course, retire. As well as a new striker as Aubameyang retires as well. 13th spot, I'm very okay with that. The cups have been a bit horrendous, but I don't massively care at this moment in time. I care more about the growth of this squad, and I'm really intrigued to see what our budget will be like in Season 3. This challenge with Ipswich is not easy by any stretch. 55 million, not the greatest of budgets here for Season 3, I'm not gonna lie. First in this third season, I'm going in for a free agent, not gonna cost us a lot of money. A Frenchman, I don't know, maybe Lacazette's regen, by the name of Noé Vidal, joining us from the free agency list for €0. I have just made a game-changing signing for us. 31-year-old, 89-rated goalkeeper from Brazil. His contract was expiring. I am talking about Ederson from Manchester City. 43 million only, cost us an absolute bargain. I've even found this man, Marcus Mann, in our youth academy. I've just promoted him. He's an exciting prospect, 17-year-old, 68 rated already. I then proceed to sell both Connor Chaplin to Athletic Club of all clubs. I mean, that's not realistic because they only sign Basque players, but oh well. 17 million we get for him. And 10 million for Axel Tuanzebe, who wanted to leave the club. I granted his wish. We have 3 centre-backs better than him. Which means that we are back up to 27 million for a single final player. Not too bad. I have just sold another centre-back in Luke Wolfenden for 9.5 million to Clermont Foot. We are now a bit short on centre-back options though. But then again, if you look at the team, we have CDM Turner, who returned from loan. He's a 69 rated 18-year-old. Man is 17-year-old, 68 rated substitute in the centre-back spot. I know it's not ideal, but I don't think it's too bad either. Because who we bring in next is an absolute game changer, a second game changer of this window. We let go of Chaplin to bring in Pablo Torre for 25 million, club record signing. No, not club record signing, that was Edison. But very close to it as well. Pablo Torre. I have found one final player from the youth academy, Eden Parkinson, what a name. He's 63 rated, the left winger, 80 to 94 potential. I am going to promote him to the first team. This is our final team for Season 3. Delap is up to a 78, he's now 22. Fatih, still also only 22, 83 overall. Haraldsson 22, 81. We have Pablo Torre, who is now our cam. He's 22 as well, very young team now. Kajus 26, 77. We have the experienced Varane at the back, alongside Ederson. Our game-changing signing, 31, 89 overall. And then finally, 19-year-old 75 rated, Vidal. Season 3 with Ipswich Town is done and dusted, and we are in 9th spot, top 10 finish, 54 points as well. 14 wins, 12 draws, 12 losses. We have Manchester City once again atop the Premier League. 88 points, 10 ahead of Arsenal, and Chelsea in 3rd and Liverpool in 4th. City do the double over Wolves in the FA Cup. We have been knocked out in round 4 in the replay by Newcastle United on pens. City even do the treble in the Carabao Cup, they defeat Spurs. While here we have been knocked out in round 3 to Brighton. A season of steady progress, I would say. 12 goals for Haraldsson, up to an 84, he's only 23 still. Smodic with 12 goals from backup cam. Right winger Fatih with 10 goals. 6 for Torre and 6 assists and 6 goals for Delap. As well as backup striker Vidal, who is now already on the same overall. I'm a bit disappointed by the growth of Delap, but otherwise this team is coming together nicely. Kajus at a 78, maybe we can look into replacing him, as well as Johnson. Davies, for now, is keeping his spot. But yeah, this team is coming together nicely. Ederson still at 90 overall at 32. I never expected this Ipswich Town rebuild to be smooth sailing at all times. But 9th spot in the Premier League in the 3rd season is a dub, I would say. The first signing we make with Ipswich Town in the 4th season is a very big one, a former Real Madrid player. In real life, he's a PSG player, but he is a free agent here. It is Marco Asensio joining Ipswich Town, the Tractor Boys. A second very crucial player is a very young one, as opposed to the experienced Marco Asensio. He's from Manchester City in real life, but here he comes from Juventus. It's the Englishman Rico Lewis rejoining the Premier League, rejoining Ipswich Town for 30 million. Our final signing of this 4th season with Ipswich Town is for a 24-year-old CDM. I've never bought him before. It is Mandela Keita joining us for 60 million plus Jens Liskajust, who was just... yeah, he was the lowest rated player in that starting 11. Keita seems like a very decent player. He's 24, 80 overall, still a lot of room to grow. Phillips, the captain, is also 80 overall. And so is Luis at 21 years of age though only. Asensio, of course, now to fit him into the team is not going to be easy at all. But I think we might just put him in here, in that camp spot, so that we have Torre on the bench. Maybe convert Asensio to a cam. We've also done a lot of business in terms of outgoings, as Callum Hutton goes to Aruca for 2 years. Davies goes to Boavista for 2 years as well. Just like Martin to Sheffield United. I think that are all the loans. And then we've also sold Smodic to Bologna for 10.8 million. Clark, the right back, as we now have a new one in Luis, for 4.5 to Mallorca. And then Hurst for 5.3 to Oppenheim. I mean, we have really cleared out our squad here. I think that every player is going to play a lot of games. We have Asensio in the starting 11, but he's already 30, so Torre is waiting in the wings. He will also play a lot of games still. Man up to 7. 4th season is done and dusted, and we have made a massive jump up. 5th spot, 63 points, 18 wins out of 38. What a season, 63 points is absolutely fantastic. Still 19 behind Man United, but we have made a clear jump up here. Liverpool defeat Sunderland of all clubs to win the FA Cup, while we have been beaten by Arsenal in the round of 16 or round 5. Arsenal win the Carabao Cup over Newcastle, while we have been knocked out by the same Newcastle in the quarterfinals. Have the first glance at European competitions. Real Madrid win the Champions League over Inter on penalties. In the Europa League, it is PSG defeating Roma. What are PSG doing in the Europa League? And Conference League, finally, it is Mallorca's turn to win it over the Hungarian outsiders of Ferencváros. The goals look a little bit bleak. 13 for Vidal is great, he's up to an 82. It was nice to trust him as the starting striker. 12 for Haraldsson, 10 for Hutchinson. Only 9 for Fati and 3 assists is a bit disappointing, but 11 assists for Asensio is great. And the team is looking very fun as well here. Not a lot of players under the overall of 80, apart from Greaves in the starting 11. Lewis up to an 83, we have Keita up to an 82. Even Phillips has gone up. As I said, here we can put Torre in the camp spot. Otherwise, Vidal, who is now clear of Delap, who is only 79. We've also promoted yet another left back. Because, yeah, we don't have a lot of real left backs or right backs in the squad here. We have done a quite good job in this 4th season with Ipswich Town. 5th in the Premier League, round 5 in the FA Cup and quarterfinals of the Carabao. There is a massive improvement to be seen. Let's see if this can continue the same way in season number 5. We have sold former Youth Academy product Even Stacey, who has lost his potential tag, for 8.6 million, his release clause to Rangers. And Liam Delap to Burnley for 23.9. As we need a new striker, I want to get a new striker. Delap wasn't really filling me with confidence in terms of his rating. We now have an unthinkable 204 million in our budget. Incredible. We immediately splashed the cash on a big Premier League striker from Newcastle United. He's 27 years of age. Hey, sweet. You guys guessed it. It is Alexander Isak joining us from Newcastle for 72 million. His contract was expiring. We got an absolute bargain on him. The second signing we make is for another big player. He's 29, an Italian, 86 rated. Coming in from Juventus for 47 million, it is Manuel Locatelli. Also, his contract was expiring. And finally, on a 5-year deal, we sign yet another player. Centre-back, 21 years of age, a man for present and future. It is Lenny Yoro joining us from PSG in this save for 40 million. He completes our defense. Another thing I want to show you is that all the reserves here are players who either were just about promoted to the first team or returned from loan, like Burrows and Parkinson. Burrows up to a 78, the Youth Academy player, and Parkinson up to a 74. He might just get loaned out, but Burrows already gets game time this season. We have Vidal, who drops to the bench, still a very good bench player now. Just like our former captain Calvin Phillips, 31-81, he's getting older. And Jacob Greaves, who finally gets replaced by Lenny Yoro, 21-81, already our highest rated centre-back, with Varane now going down. Locatelli swaps in that if I find him in that... Locatelli swaps in that if I find him in that CDM spot here, 29-86. And of course, big striker Alexander Isak still has got a lot to give. 27-87 overall. I'm really excited to see how we go in this season, where we'll be, of course, in the end of Season 5 is upon us, and we are once again in the 5th position, 67 points, and only 4 points of Arsenal this time, but I'm really happy with our progression. We are a very good team now in the Premier League, a top 5 team for the 2nd consecutive season, and it is Manchester City once again, the champions ahead of Man United. However, we do win our first trophy, defeating Liverpool in the FA Cup. That is a big dub. The Carabao goes to Man United over Brighton. And here we've got the knocked out in round 4, the round of 16, I think, by Brighton. The Champions League goes to Juventus over Atletico Madrid. We were, of course, in Group A in the Europa League, alongside Genk, PAOK and Molde, but we only finished in 2nd, a bit disappointing. We had to go to the preliminary round where we just about overcame Leverkusen on penalties. Wow. Round of 16, we overcame Atalanta as well. What a tough run. Quarterfinals against Lens, we won. In the semis, we got knocked out by Union Berlin. What a tough way to get knocked out. 7-6 on penalties. In the final, it is Union Berlin winning the Europa League against Newcastle. And finally, the Conference League goes to Roma over Braga. Alexander Isak, we know why we bought him. 20 goals, 10 assists, he just delivers from the get-go. 86 rated Fati now at 25 years of age. 15 goals for him, 15 for Vidal as well, up to an 83. 12 for Haraldsson, who is nearly 90 rated as well. Great. I mean, we will need a new centre-back probably because Varane is going down more and more. Man is 79 rated, but he has somehow lost his potential tag. We can see what we do there. But Greaves, yeah, maybe for now we put him there and Varane on the bench. Otherwise, this team is coming together very nicely. 86 Luis, 86 Fati, 88 Isak. We have 86 Torre. A fantastic midfield with Keita at 83 already. Ederson still, though, at 91. Having had a closer look at the stats and at the squad as well, I'm slightly disappointed that we didn't do better in the Premier League. We could have qualified for Champions League football, just about didn't. We at least won the FA Cup, Europa League semi-finalists. I am really expecting a lot from us because next season we'll once again play Europa League in Season 6. First signing in this 6th season with Ipswich Town is for a world-class centre-back whose contract was expiring in 11 months. A Dutchman. In Matthijs de Ligt joining us from Real Madrid of all clubs for 79 million, a big price. Still a bargain though for an 89 rated centre-back. A second big signing of this summer to really transform this club into one of the best in the Premier League, being able to compete in every single competition. We have signed the CDM from Roma in this save. PSG plays in real life. 77 million for Manuel Ugarte, the Uruguayan CDM. Coming together for the 6th season. We have Ugarte at the CDM spot. 27, 86 overall. We immediately replace Greaves with, of course, our new centre-back, which I don't find. Here he is. And Greaves goes to the bench ahead of Varane. Of course, Matthijs de Ligt I'm talking about. 28, 89. He will transform this club. Ugarte, of course, as I said, 27, 86. And this makes Keita going to the bench a much bigger, much better bench now. Phillips even could complete with that CDM spot. I mean, we have a lot of places now on that bench. Burrows, 82 rated. Vidal, 83. Season 6 is done and dusted, and we are the Premier League champions. After twice finishing in 5th, we are now the champions in a very tight title race. In the end, 4 points ahead of Liverpool. Only 6 losses all season long. 21 wins is what gets us over the line. I'm really proud of the boys. The Community Shield at the beginning of the season has been lost on penalties against Manchester City, as we were, of course, the FA Cup winners. FA Cup goes to Aston Villa over Man City, while we have been knocked out in round 3 in the replay against Nottingham Forest. The Carabao goes to Aston Villa as well. They've won 2 trophies. Whilst we have been knocked out in round 3 by Newcastle. Absolutely brilliant. Champions League goes to Dortmund, surprisingly, over Man City. We were in the Europa League where we topped our group. 0 losses ahead of Sociedad. In the preliminary round we didn't play. Round of 16, we defeated Copenhagen 3-0. Quarterfinals 4-2 against Stade Rennes. But in the semis, we got destroyed by Milan. Celtic defeated Real Madrid. And in the end, it is Milan winning the Europa League. And finally, the Conference League goes to Germany, to Gladbach over Lask from Austria. 19 goals for Haraldsson. This man is our diamond in the rough. 12 for Vidal. 9 for Isak. I'm really disappointed by this. I would have expected more goals by Isak. Vidal has scored more than him. Asensio with 8, 7 goals and 10 assists for Torre, but Isak's 9 goals are disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, looking at this squad, we have a menacing squad. Next season, of course, we will be in the Champions League. Could we maybe improve our defense a little bit to get it onto the level of our offense and midfield? Maybe a better centre-back than Euro. He's not really developed that nicely. Varane will retire at the end of the season. Where is he? 77 now, 36. So we might just see if we can bring in a new centre-back. I don't know why the manager rating is that low, but we have won the Premier League. We have reached the semi-final of the Europa League. Quite close to winning it twice now. The Europa League, twice in the semi-finals. But next season we'll of course play in the Champions League in Season 7, and I'm really looking forward to it. Even though we have bags of money, I have decided to go in for a centre-back. World class, but already 32. His contract was expiring. You guys know how much I love that. That's why I brought in Ruben Diaz for 69 million. Naughty number. Second player we've specifically brought in to strengthen that back line is the left back Destiny Udogie, who will at least give competition, if not overtake Davies completely. But then we have a very good left-sided back line. 75 million. from Liverpool he cost us. We have then proceeded to make a triple clear out. Callum Hutton, 21.8 million to Lazio. Turner, another youth academy product, 22.80 rated, 25 million to Arsenal. And finally, the one who probably will hurt the most, an exciting prospect in Evan Parkinson. I wanted to get the million in just to be able to go in for one final player. Because just like that, we are up to 153 million in our budget. That one final player we go in for is a game changer. A man, 92 overall, a winger. He's 5 higher rated than Ansu Fati. That's the position I want to upgrade on. Here he gets a royal presentation coming in from Napoli. He's a Georgian, of course, by now you guys must have guessed it. It is Kvicha Kvaratskhelia joining us for 140 million plus Felix Davies who returned from loan. Another sacrificed youth academy lamb. But I'm not really mad about that. Because look at this team now. The bench with Fati 26.87. Keita on the bench as well. Kvaratskhelia in the starting 11. He's a left winger / right winger. He's 28.92. Haraldsson on the other hand is 26.91. We have Udogi, of course, who came into the club alongside Diaz. Udogi 26.86. Diaz already 32.90 overall though. I mean, this team is really one of the best teams I've ever created. Maybe not the midfield, but the attack certainly, as well as the centre-back spots and the goalkeeper. I'm really excited to see what we can do in the Champions League because we must be one of the top 5 favourites to win it all together. Final piece of business in this transfer window, selling Omari Hutchinson for 51.4 million to Napoli. He was only our 5th string winger now. We got the first test of this season in the Wembley Stadium against the FA Cup winners of Aston Villa in the Community Shield, and we lose it actually. That's a bad start. Luis and Isak scored for us. A lot happened here, but Ben Seguier with a brace, with a hat-trick actually for Aston Villa. This season, in our first ever visit to the Champions League, we'll be alongside Juventus, Sevilla and Copenhagen, a group where we should get out of and maybe fight for. We have arrived at the halfway point of season number 7 and we are once again atop the Premier League, only 2 losses after 20 games. On same points though as Manchester City, 6 ahead of West Ham. And in the Champions League we've absolutely smoked that group. 4 wins, 2 draws, 0 losses, 4 points ahead of Juventus. We go through to the round of 16 where we'll face Inter Milan, not an easy draw by any stretch. But yeah, then San Siro for the first leg of the round of 16 matchup in the Champions League against Inter. Can we get a first win here? No, it's a draw actually. 2-2, Isak and Locatelli score our goals, but Lautaro and Scott cancel it out. Second leg at home at Portman Road. Can we get through against Inter? First leg was a draw, and the second leg is just about ourselves getting through, even though we were behind through Lautaro. Ramos gave them the equalizer, but our goals came through Locatelli, Kvaratskhelia and Haraldsson. In the 113th in extra time, we just about pulled through against Inter. I mean, this is a real grind. In the quarterfinals, it is Barcelona coming to Portman Road on the first leg here. Can we get an advantage over the Catalan Giants? Yes, it's a 3-2 win from the first leg. Hoyland gave Barca the lead. Hassan scored for them as well. But Pablo Torre with a brace and Haraldsson with the final winner. Can we confirm that big win from the first leg in the second in Barcelona? 3-2 up from the first and we win again. A 2-1 win. Listas gave them a back consolation in the 86th, but Torre once again and Isak in the second minute score our goals to put us through to the semi-finals on a 5-3 aggregate win against the Catalan Giants Barcelona. We are ready to make big moves. And in the semi-finals we will face, of all teams, Olympique Marseille, a big outsider to win the Champions League this season. Can we get an advantage here at the Stade Vélodrome in Marseille? Yes, just about 2-1 win. Kvara and Udogi scored our goals. Rongier gave them one back and they stand a little chance here after that goal. Today is the day, 15th of May, to make dreams come true against Marseille. Which outsider is going to the final? It is ourselves. Asensio and Ugarte score our goals. Colombo with a brace for Marseille, but that's just not enough. Ipswich Town off to a Champions League final. On the 8th of June 2030, we will face Borussia Dortmund to complete this rebuild with Ipswich Town. In the Premier League, we just about don't make it as back-to-back champions. One more loss than Manchester City, same amount of draws, 3 points behind them on second place. We are even the bridesmaid in the FA Cup as we have been defeated by Burnley of all clubs in the final. Carabao goes to Man City over Spurs, while here we have been knocked out in round 3 very early doors by Leeds United on penalties. The Europa League goes to Sevilla in an old Spanish affair against Atletico Madrid, and the Conference League goes to Belgium, very surprisingly, to Westerlo over Valencia. I mean, once again, 20 goals for Isak, not bad. 16 goals, 12 assists for Newman Quara up to a 93. 13 goals for Haraldsson. Burrows, the Youth Academy player, with 11 goals. 10 goals for Torre and even 10 for Vidal and Fati. And just before we play the Champions League final, this is how our squad is looking like. Fantastic in each and every position. No player in the starting 11 below the overall of 87, with Udogi being the lowest rated. A phenomenal front line, fantastic centre-backs. Ederson gone down by 1, but Louis up by 1 as well. This team is ready to clinch the UEFA Champions League in Season 7. Here we are then, Estadio Metropolitano is the venue in Madrid, the Atletico Stadium, for Ipswich Town against Borussia Dortmund. Vara with a great intervention is already there. And we play some silky smooth football here, very early doors. It is! Oh, good pass, but good intervention. Good ball once again in behind here for Dortmund. It is Mazilu. Mazilu gets the ball back and great save Ederson. Corner kick Ruben Neves for Dortmund. We get it out, but not only as far as this guy, Smith Rowe, but Ederson is there. Here is Nonto, who is the winger for Dortmund in this case. Plays the ball inside. It's Smith Rowe. Still Smith Rowe, but the Licht is there, and I think that's a free kick. Oh my god, what a chance for Dortmund. How was that even a free kick? I don't believe it. But Mazilu or Neves. It's Neves, post, and they score. Off the rebound, great agility here from the Dortmund player. Look at it. It's Ruben Neves with that free kick off the post. And then a fantastic goal. I don't know who scored it, but it's Dortmund's number 6. But we try to react immediately here through Alexander Isak. It's Torre. Torre! And a great save by Kobel. Torre on the corner kick. It's a good game. It's the Licht and another save. I haven't really seen enough of our midfield players, Manuel Ugarte and company. Ugarte, now he goes with a good run into Torre. That's what I want to see. Torre! Good save, Kobel. Kobel is the man of the match so far. We have had many more chances, but Kobel is always there. Here is Pablo Torre into Kvara. Kvara looking for Isak. Alexander Isak. Big chance now, he scores! Alexander Isak. 1-0. Ipswich Town on the score sheet. That was a brilliant display. Kvara into Isak. He's just so strong and a good finisher. Kobel doesn't stand a chance now. It's Boniface against Ugarte, who does play a good second half, but here he fouls him apparently. They all go down and the referee even calls it. Boniface will try to strike that from there and he's hit the crossbar. However, now we could go on a counter. It's Pablo Torre. Can he get away from Kosunu? Torre against Kosunu does so well. Torre! Oh, what a save, Kobel. Good display. It's already 90th minute. It's Locatelli. Locatelli. Good ball. It's Isak. Alexander Isak! with the winner in the second minute of extra time, of added time actually. What a ball by Locatelli. This is it, Torre into, of course, Alexander Isak with a brace. He wasn't much to be seen, but he's so clinical, and this time Kobel can't keep it out either. It's 2-1 to Ipswich Town in the dying stages. It's kickoff and it's done already. Ipswich Town on top of Europe. They are crowned the champions of the Champions League after 7 grinding, cruel seasons. We have finally done it with the final promoted team to the Premier League. Even though we went behind by Yele, Isak has turned the game around. We have not only made Ipswich Town the best team in England in the Premier League, winning that, of course, last season, but also this season, defeating Borussia Dortmund and the others in the Champions League to crown Ipswich Town the best team in Europe. But lads, if you enjoyed this video, this rebuild, the final rebuild of the 3 promoted sides, then please consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. Also, tell me in the comments what other challenges you'd like to see next with FC25, of course, around the corner. For now, I'm gonna leave you alone. Enjoy the celebrations as Matthijs de Ligt will lift the Champions League for Ipswich Town.